What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another episode of the player ratings. This is one you've all been waiting for. We beat Manchester United at Old Trafford 6-1. Let me just repeat that. We beat Manchester United at Old Trafford 6-1.
What was the thing Klopp does?
In an absolutely sensational game from Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, how do you sum up that game?
Man, we were absolutely on point from start to, well, not from start, from 1 minute in to finish. I mean, what unbelievable performance. We really got to see what this Mourinho team is all about. We finally got to see the full picture of the rebuild that we've all been waiting for. And some of the performances in this team are just absolutely like orgasmic.
The painful rebuild is finally
not
over.
So painful. It's not so painful. We've clearly rebuilt, and I think, and we'll talk about the signings as well, because clearly the signings that have come into the team have really improved what 100%. We've got there. But it's not just the signings, it's also the fringe players as well. Mm-hmm. They're stepping up. The competition for places is
the fringe players were first choice last year. They weren't even fringe players last year.
But now the competition for places is absolutely paramount at the moment. Everyone is battling for minutes, as Mourinho said, and it really shows on the pitch.
100%. And let's get straight into it. Let's start off with Hugo Lloris. We gave him a 6. He was faced from the penalty spot 30 seconds in. Mm-hmm. But apart from that, I thought he was fairly untested throughout the game.
I mean, yeah, United barely laid a glove on him, I don't think. I think a few people criticised him for not moving for the penalty because he was trying to outdo Bruno, who likes to do that little skip to make the keeper move for him. But I think he couldn't do much about it. But yeah, other than that, really didn't do anything. Really had barely little to do. He took the ball out of the net. Rashford hit the post, but he didn't really get near that. So that was it.
I would say his distribution is improving. I thought his distribution was pretty good yesterday. But yeah, apart from that, not too much to note from Hugo.
One of his quieter days for sure.
Yeah. And I think we're coming to say that kind of week in, week out at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. That's definitely true.
Let's go on to Sergio Regulon. We gave him an 8. I mean, this guy, I'm loving him more and more every game. I think his aggressive streak in him is just so good. It reminds me a bit of a Danny Rose, how aggressive he was in the challenge and stuff like that. His pace, unbelievable. And this guy is going to be a star. He's going to be a Premier League star. He really is.
He really has fit right into this Tottenham team. He really has. He's fitting like a glove. He's been absolutely fantastic. Clearly, he's such a lovable guy as well. How confident he is, how aggressive he is. The great thing about him is he's such an outlet. Every time we attack down left-hand side, he's there. Every single time he's there. And I think in terms of yesterday, I'd like to see a bit more quality in the final third. I felt a lot of the times he got there, but he wasn't providing much quality in terms of crossing or whatever. But the most important thing was defensively, he wasn't vulnerable, and going forward, he was there every single time on the left-hand side. He was there. I
would say maybe he wasn't vulnerable, but he's a bit rash in his defending at the moment. I think that's something he definitely has to pick up on, and I think he will. That'll come with time. But I do feel that sometimes he can be a bit rash defensively.
Yeah, I agree with that. But you got to say, 2 games against Chelsea and against Man United couldn't have got off to a much better start, to be honest. No. And it's been such an encouraging signing. And, it showed Ben Davies coming on. He really had to prove something for those minutes, because he clearly sees Regulon coming in. He's like, okay, I've really got a battle on my hands to keep my place now, because this guy's the real deal, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll come on to Davies in a bit, but, he's stepped up as well since he's come in. Eric Dier, we gave him an 8. I thought a very commanding, very good leadership as well he was showing throughout the game. And what impressed me most about Dier was his long-range pings throughout the whole game. I thought he was really challenging his inner Toby Alderweireld. And I thought, I think Dier is growing and growing every game, and he's growing into that centre-back and that leader that Jose Mourinho, alluded on and thought he was going to be. I think he's growing into that player, and I think he's the best centre-back in the squad at the moment.
I was happy with his game, actually. I think he played really well. I think his task was made a lot easier once Martial got sent off, because obviously they didn't have to have that threat in behind was kind of taken out of them. But I think, if he puts in more performances like this, then we don't have to worry so much about signing a new centre-back. It's just the consistency. We always worry about Dier and those moments where, he lapses in concentration. But I think he is improving. He's getting better in that role in centre-back. And I think at the moment, he's taking a claim for being our number 1 centre-back.
Yeah, I think he is our number 1 centre-back now. I genuinely believe that. And I think when we're staking a claim to bring in a centre-back, I think it's someone to come in and partner Dier. I don't think it's someone to come in and replace Dier. So then that brings us on nicely to Davinson Sanchez. We gave him a 7. Obviously, gave away that penalty in the first 30 seconds. Really, really sloppy. Do you think he was kind of harshly treated for that penalty, or you think it was stone cold penalty?
I think it was a soft penalty, but but the fact of the matter is Martial did get the wrong side of him, and he puts a challenge in, doesn't get anywhere near the ball, and he makes a bit of contact with Martial and he goes over, and this day and age that's a penalty, so he's got to be smarter than that. But I've got to say, since that, after the penalty, he improved dramatically.
He made a lot of great challenges, a lot of great intercept blocks as well. So.
Yeah, his one-on-one defending up against Martial and Rashford and whatnot was impeccable. They couldn't get past him after that. And not only that, what really impressed me yesterday was actually what I've always criticised him, is his composure on the ball, and his long-range passing was actually on point yesterday. Some of his long-range passing was absolutely fantastic, finding Regulon very regularly on that left-hand side. So
I like the wordplay there.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, look, I've got to credit where credit's due with Sanchez. He really, really stepped up, and I think yesterday was a hint that maybe Sanchez might be coming into his own, even though he gave away a penalty, he might be coming into his own a bit. I was really impressed with him, I got to say, really impressed.
The thing is with Sanchez, and I bring this up quite regularly on the channel, it's that I feel that Sanchez mostly has good games against the big teams. I think it's in the smaller games, as you saw in the Maccabi Haifa game, or other games that we've played against smaller opposition this season, that his concentration goes in those kind of games. I don't think we have to worry about him in these bigger games. I think it's in the smaller games we actually have to worry about him.
Yeah, you might be right, but I thought yesterday I think got to give him massive credit for the way he responded to giving her that penalty, and the way he defended. I thought he was absolutely fantastic, really fantastic.
And you talk about mentality in the squad, and you talk about how Jose Mourinho banged on in the documentary, nothing in the game can affect you. We conceded a penalty in 30 seconds. The old Tottenham of last season might have collapsed after that penalty, ended up losing 3-0 that game. But you could see the mentality is changing in this team, and Sanchez went from making a mistake, conceding a penalty, to faultless in defence, really. Completely. Moving on to Serge Aurier, we gave him a 9. I mean, this guy is trying to stake a claim to be back at number 1 spot at right back. He's keeping Doherty out of the team at the moment. I thought it was a really faultless display from Serge Aurier. Getting up, getting down. He looked so fit and energetic. What an outlet he was causing on that right-hand side, and what closing down and tackles he was producing as well. I mean, this guy was completely on point. He did everything except for score that goal, and then when he did score that goal, I mean, it was capped off perfectly, really.
Near perfect performance from Serge. It really was. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal. He dominated that right hand side, completely dominated. Tottenham played this tactic where we play that inside forward on the right hand channel, and then Aurier is given license to go forward. And a lot of the time, especially last season, Aurier was given a lot of that license, and he screwed up a lot when he was on the right-hand side. But yesterday, a goal, an assist, completely. Rashford didn't know what to do every time he got forward, because if Rashford spent so much time tracking back, he wasn't going to be a threat going forward. So he let him go time after time after time. And every single time Spurs had the ball, Kane was able to find him out wide. Sisoko was able to find him out. He was always an option every single time. And there was that moment in the first half where he puts that sliding challenge in, and Højbjerg celebrating it like a goal. It was absolutely fantastic. I thought if Serge Aurier puts in performances like this, then he will be our number 1 centre-back this season, and I really think that competition is going to do him well. And that was a big factor last season, that Serge Aurier had to play every game, and we couldn't afford to drop him, whether he was playing well or not. And I think now with Doherty coming in, he's going to get that respite. He's going to be re-energised for games like this, and he's going to be able to put in and hopefully he'll find some consistency to put in these kind of performances. Because I think at his best, you've got to say, he might even be better than Matt Doherty.
I mean, at the moment in the system that we're playing, you would say Serge Aurier is definitely more suited to that system. In
terms of the qualities he has, pace, in terms of his physicality, in terms of even his crossing ability when it's good, I think he might be a better player than Matt Doherty.
Maybe, but it looks like he's staying now as well, so that's
fantastic
music to everyone's ears. But what else I want to say for Serge Aurier, which is really benefiting him, is that Regulon's in the side now. So we've got 2 fullbacks pushed up, and before it was only Aurier that was pushed up. So we're much more wider now on the pitch, and they don't know which way to go.
Yeah.
So that's also what's playing into Serge's hands.
And we'll get into why that is in a minute, who's filling in that role in the centre. But yeah, I think the flying fullbacks are benefiting us no end. It's so much better than the lopsided thing we were playing before, all complicated, and we were being exposed at the back. And I think with Aurier and Regulon, it's a lot better.
100%. And let's get into Musa Sisoko. We gave him an 8. I mean, this guy was a complete bulldozer in the middle of the park. I thought, covered every blade of grass, as probably in every Musa Sisoko player ratings, we've said that statement. I mean, I thought anything that Højbjerg missed, which was very little, he mopped up completely. And I thought that, look, it was great to see Sissoko back in the lineup and great to see him put him in a shift like he did.
So much energy, as we know Sissoko has. I think him in a 3, as I've always said, that's his best position. We don't like him in a double pivot. We don't really like him out wide right. But I think him as a box-to-box in a midfield 3, as he was yesterday, I think definitely suits him the best. And it showed. Even his passing yesterday, some of his passing was, I know he overhit a pass to Aurier when he got the assist, but it was still a decent pass out wide. And some of his other passing was pretty on point. So I think you've got to give him credit there. It wasn't as clumsy as, the usual Musa Sissoko display. Look at that passing completion rate, 97%. When have you ever heard that about Musa Sissoko?
Yeah.
Never.
Sissoko, 69 passes as well. It's not like it was a
got
small
quite
amount.
a few. So Sissoko never has that. And look, 3 tackles as well. Only one, obviously 1-1. So you got to say a real positive display from Sissoko. And obviously we've got Winks and Lo Celso. So it's really great competition for places when Sissoko's coming in and everyone thinks he's a fringe player and he's putting in a great display like that and really pushing the other first team players. So there's a lot of talk of maybe Sissoko being pushed out, but he put in another player yesterday who put in a display saying, look, I'm still here and I'm still part of this team and I'm not here just to make up the numbers.
100%. I mean, I was so impressed with his performance yesterday.
And also, important to note on the third goal, when Harry Kane puts it in the back of the net, it was actually him blocking off Harry Maguire. When Son squares it, he blocks off Harry Maguire, who was looking to get into Harry Kane. And that's why Harry Kane looked so free, because he was blocking Harry Maguire from intercepting the pass.
100%. Let's move on to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. We gave him a 10. This was the real introduction of Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. This was putting his stamp print onto the team. I mean, this guy was absolutely sensational. I mean, if he wasn't playing yesterday, I don't think we have such an emphatic win. I mean, he was everywhere. I mean, a lot of people talk about Pierre before he came and was like, his passing's not that great. I mean, he's a bit of a headless chicken in the midfield, but his passing's not that great. And we saw that the first 2 games. But now he's got his role covering that defence, going into a back 3. I mean, this guy is just... It's more than we could ever dream of when we signed him. That performance yesterday was absolutely perfect. We gave him a 10 out of 10, 94% passing completion rate, and that was 106 passes in there. He had the most touches in the pitch, 116 touches. And he didn't give the Man U midfielders a second to breathe. He had Pogba in his pocket. He had any player that came round him in his pocket.
Bruno had to be forced off at half-time because he couldn't handle him. He couldn't get away from him.
And the shithousery as well, which I completely love. I mean, there was a moment when he went down and it looked like he was hurt. And you knew he just wasn't hurt. And he came up, gave a little look to the cameras and started smiling. And I just love that. And you can see that is straight out of the Jose Mourinho playbook. And this is a perfect midfielder for Tottenham Hotspur and for Jose Mourinho. I mean, I cannot sing this guy's praises enough.
This was the perfect defensive midfielder display. This was Sergio Busquets-esque. This was unbelievable. When you say 94% completion rate, you're expecting a lot of his passes to be back and sideways.
How many passes?
That assist was like Ozil-esque with his vision. De Bruyne, Eriksen. That was like Eriksen.
It was like Harry Kane, let's say.
It was a first-time through ball, inch perfect into Aurier's path to finish well. Like, he didn't have to break stride, Aurier. It was actually a first-time pass. It was one of the best you'll see all weekend. There was a little, in the first half, a little dink pass into Ndombele into space, and he was able to stride forward. How many passes forward did he make? Nearly all of them were forward, progressive passes. Unbelievable stuff. How many tackles, interceptions did he make? Pogba, Bruno, Matic couldn't live with him yesterday. Couldn't get away from yesterday. And the fact that he is the one dropping deeper now, as opposed to in his early appearances, he was playing in a double pivot and he was actually pressing quite high. The fact that we've called for since he's come into Spurs is him playing that deeper role, shielding the back 4 and dropping back in between the centre backs. He played it to absolute perfection. Absolute perfection. This guy was masterful yesterday. This was this is exactly what we've been missing for ever since Wanyama pretty much has been ruled out for Spurs. This is what we've been missing. This player is exactly what we've been missing. And he was calm, he was assured, he was talking to everyone, he was leading the midfield, he was communicating every single time, he was making all those tackles, he was the first one to press, he was the first one to drop, he was just the perfect display. I can't express enough how good he was yesterday. Not just his defence, it was also his passing, his technical ability as well, second to none. We've got a real player on our hands, I really believe that. And
he's such a leader as well.
Everyone joked about him being the best PA in North London. We might not be joking right now. We might not be joking right now because
Aubameyang can't even find the back of the net anymore. So
this guy has serious ability, and if he can put performances like this, he might just be the best centre mid, defensive mid in the league.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. And also the hard work that he does allows everyone else to play, and we'll come on to who it benefited the most next, I believe.
But he said, that's what Højbjerg said. He said his main role is making other players play 100%. Better. That's his main role. It's exactly what he did yesterday.
And we come on to Tanguy Ndombele. We gave him an 8. I mean, he probably still got Pogba in his back pocket right now. I mean, this guy was sensational, running things from the middle. I mean, this guy is just getting better and better and better every game. United fans and Arsenal fans were texting me before the game saying he's just average. They couldn't even come back to me with that after the game. They just texted me saying, look, you were right. He was just so good.
Absolute class. Again, from Tanguy. He's really come on this season. We've said it. There was some nice
skills, quotes. Man. The skills.
Mate, he was dubbing him. He was playing with him. He was toying with the man. He was toying with Pogba for a lot of the first half. He was showing the ball, then dragging back and passing it. He was absolutely phenomenal. Obviously,
here you are. No anymore.
Exactly. And he was obviously it was his equaliser in the first half after 4 minutes. I got the ball
nearly
rolling.
Got one a few minutes later as well.
Yeah, from a corner, a good late run in the box to getting the goal. He really has come on leaps and bounds. And he said there were some quotes from him this morning saying that he had obviously a well documented a lot of problems with Jose Mourinho last season, and they had difference of opinion in a lot of aspects. But he said they've both put their egos aside for the good of the club, and we're moving in the right direction now.
And you can see that on the pitch.
It's really proving what we signed him for. This guy, I want to say, on the ball, he's so impressive. He's always been impressive on the ball, but off the ball, how many interceptions did he make and tackles? He was getting stuck in. He was getting aggressive. He was really being physical yesterday, and it was so good to see. It's exactly what Mourinho wanted. He's becoming such a better player because of it, and I think that his physicality off the ball is letting his on the ball ability shine now, and we're really seeing the proper Tanguy Ndombele that we bought for 55 million. And it's a cliche, but he's going to be like a new signing this season. He really is. He's going to be like a new player. And
he already has been.
He's going to complete, like, our central midfield options, all of a sudden, you're like, who are we picking? It's like a sport for choice all of a sudden. Such a good dilemma to have. And Tanguy coming into full, into form like he is such a joy to watch. He's such a pleasure to watch.
100%.
And him and Lascelles, imagine when him and Lascelles are in the same team, because they're both such joys to watch. It's unbelievable.
I would say that Ndombele, he put so much effort and grit into that game. You could see with about half an hour to go, 20 minutes to go, he was
dead. Yeah,
he was dead. But that is just only credit to the way he played. But what I want to say is, when he was looking dead, he was still trying his best to run around, put his all for the team, put his neck out on the line. So look, all credit to Tanguy Ndombele, the way he's transformed himself. Because last season nobody could see light at the end of the tunnel with him, and now he's one of our best players. So let's move on to Eric Lamela. We gave him an 8. Another sensational display from Eric Lamela. He went off after 45 minutes, but I think that was only because he was booked. I think that was the only reason he really got taken off. But for the 45 that he was on the pitch, he literally, he sets the tone for our pressing game. He really does. The effort and desire he puts into that pressing game, and that shithousery for the penalty or for the sending off,
brilliant.
He probably should have got sent off if
lucky.
If Martial got sent off, he probably should have got sent off as well. But having said that, United should have had about 3 or 4 red cards anyway on top of that.
Man, yeah, as Mourinho said after the game, United were lucky they didn't finish the game with 8 men, let alone 10 men. Look, what Lamela did, it wasn't that great to see his play acting and everything. However, it's
out the Mourinho playbook.
It's what Mourinho's been calling for a long time, and it's what Spurs need to get, is that nasty streak, a bit of gamesmanship that all the top teams have, and we've been the victim of so many times. And it was finally a chance for us to be on the right end of it this time instead of on the wrong end of it. I think he's definitely lucky to be to have stayed on the pitch for what he did, for sure. And I think at the end of the day, what probably would have been a fair outcome is both players got booked as opposed to sending off.
I agree.
However, the rule book this was stated to me by someone I think on Twitter or something. The rule book apparently states that a push in the chest is a yellow and contact to the face is a red. So by the letter of the law, the referee did get it right. So anyone saying the referee got it wrong, I think apparently is incorrect. And you got to say, such a battler. That first goal doesn't come around if Lamela isn't there battling the centre backs and not 100%. Giving up on lost causes.
100%.
You know, this guy, again, another player who's been asked for so long. Everyone expects him to be a fringe player. Everyone expects him to be a player who's not going to be starting often. But again, he starts in a massive game, Man United away, and he shows his worth. He shows it again. He's also here. He's not here to screw around and make up the numbers. He's here to battle for a first-team spot. And he didn't disappoint at all. And that's, again, against Chelsea and against Man United, 2 big starts for him. And he really came up trumps. And
he's also a big game player, Lamela. He always plays well in these kind of games.
You can tell Mourinho really likes him. He's a real Mourinho player. Mourinho's really taken a liking to him, and obviously with Bale coming into the team and Bergwijn, could he find minutes limited? Probably, but you know what? When he's playing like this, it's hard to leave him out.
100%. Let's move on to Heung-min Son. We gave him a 10. I mean,
he wasn't meant to be playing.
What can I say about Heung-min Son? You know, miraculously covers from a hamstring injury. I thought he was absolutely sensational throughout. 2 goals. I think it was 1 assist.
Yeah.
What can I say about Sonny? The guy is just oozes class. His finishing is absolute dynamite. I think he only had about 2 shots yesterday and absolute clinical finishes, both of them. The way he can find those gaps in the goals is just insane. It's just insane. I mean, the way this guy frightens defenses week in, week out, he is absolutely world class.
He really does pair like good pace and good movement with unbelievable deadly finishing, and as he proved that again yesterday. Another 2 goals, another assist, as you say. I think this is going to be Son's best season ever at Tottenham. I always at the end of last season,
he's taking things to a new level.
He really is. As I said, at the end of last season, he got 11 goals and 10 assists, which was obviously a good return for an attacker. But I was saying, if he really wants to enter that world class bracket and really wants to achieve what I believe his ability is worth, he's got to start getting even more than that. He's got to start getting at least 15 goals a season. He's got to start really contributing consistently, because he does go through dry spells, Son. And I think this season, man, he's really, really done that. Every single game he has played, he's contributed either a goal or assist. He's made an impact. And a game where he was injured at the beginning of the week, apparently Son said he had magic hamstrings. He said he wasn't even meant to be playing. He gets in from the start and he contributes 2 goals and an assist. And that first goal, really clever movement. Obviously came to the quick free kick, but he had to be on the move. He had to be aware, just as Harry Kane was aware. And that breezing pass by and that little dink finish was absolutely superb. That little finish at the front post from an Aurier pass was absolutely fantastic. Such a deft finish, but in between De Gea's legs. And obviously that assist for Harry Kane's first goal as well. Good awareness, and it was a pretty easy pass at the end of the day, but he had to be there. And I think this is going to be Son's. You know, he's already got 6 goals in the Premier League after 4 games. Probably his best return, definitely after 4 games, that's for sure. And now an assist as well. His link up with Kane is just second to none, absolutely second to none. And this guy is proving that, you know, we had a debate at the beginning of the season, Mane or Son, and I was like, at the moment I have to say Mane, because Mane is just proving it more consistently and he's more physical. But you know what, Son in this form, I'm starting to question.
Well, he's definitely started better than Mane. I mean, I would like to see it across the whole season, and we can judge it then. But at the moment, Son's on better form.
Son is probably, you got to say, one of the best informed forwards in Europe at the moment.
You would say probably Kane and Son are the best partnership in the world at the moment.
It's hard to argue that, it really is.
I think the Son's upturn in form this season, and the reason why he's so successful is hugely down to Harry Kane, which we'll get on now, which Harry Kane we gave a 10 to as well. And before, this is the first time we've ever given more than 2 10s in a game. We've given 3 10s, both Son and now Kane.
All deserved.
And the reason why I say I think the upturn in Son's form is due to Kane. I think, first of all, this is the best version of Harry Kane we've ever seen, in my opinion. And the reason why Son is finding so much space is the movement that Harry Kane is providing in the team. How many times does Kane drag away 2 defenders and it just leaves Son free, and he gets a goal, or he gets a close to a goal or something like that. But apart from that, Harry Kane, I mean, his delivery, insane. His finishing, insane. His desire, insane. I mean, like I said, this is the best version of Harry Kane I've ever seen. And you got to give credit to Jose Mourinho for transforming him like this.
Yeah, absolutely massive credit to Mourinho for what we're seeing from Harry Kane. He's now 8 goals and 7 assists in 8 games this season.
Like I said, the best version of Harry Kane we've ever seen.
I think he's the most creative player in the Premier League at the moment.
He is.
And for a striker of Harry Kane's ability, or who's obviously known as one of the best goal scorers in the whole of Europe, for him to add this creative element, we've always known that he's had a good passing range, but he hasn't quite got that assist level up. Now he's actually using it to perfection. Now actually when he drags defenders out, he's not getting shuffled out. He's actually using the space that he creates in behind to feed Son, to feed other runners in behind.
He's Teddy Sheringham and Alan Shearer all rolled into one.
Man, this guy is, he is the best striker. This is, as you said, the best version of Harry Kane you've ever seen. I mean, I can't get over how clinical he is, first of all, in front of goal, and how good his passing range is. Yet again, him playing that through ball into Son for that quick free kick, absolutely pin perfect. Him sliding away that penalty with confidence. Obviously, it was an easy finish for that third goal. But I thought absolutely fantastic from Harry Kane. And you got to say, every single game this season, I know a few of them being Europa League, but he's just been absolutely clinical every single time. You got to think back to
he looks like a man on a mission, doesn't he?
You got to think about that Southampton game, 4 assists in one game, and no, that was no fluke. Clearly not. This Harry Kane, just in the Premier League, he's got 6 assists and 3 goals, most of them to Heung-min Son.
And you got to
absolutely
think
phenomenal.
That the record for assists in the Premier League is 20, set by Thierry Henry. I mean, the guy is 3 or 4 games in, and is he already on 6?
Yeah, so who knows what he's going to achieve at the end of the season. He's obviously got Bale to come in as well, who's going to be helping him out. Harry Kane is the best player in the Premier League right now.
I agree
best
with that.
player in the Premier League right now. Absolutely no doubt about it. He's, every time they get near him, they leave space in behind. They can't handle him. It's unbelievable.
Because when they double on Kane, you got Son free. When they double on Son, you got Kane free. I mean, it's just the dream, this partnership at the moment. It really is. Which moves us on to Lucas Mora. We gave him a 7. He came on at half-time, full of effort and desire. I felt really giving a go at the Man United defence. But he should have got Luke Shaw sent off, because I thought that was complete GBH. It really was.
I mean, yeah, it's incredible that the rules of football state that Martial's infraction on Lamela there was a sending off. Yet you're allowed to physically kick Lucas Moura and try and injure him, basically, and that's absolutely fine. So that's a bit of a joke. But I think, yeah, Lucas Moura, he was quieter than the other players. Obviously, he was quieter than Lamela, I felt, than he was in the first half. He didn't really make, considering United were down to 10 men, when Lucas Moura comes on, you expect him to kind of...
He was having a go. He was.
Like, what did he do? Did he make any shots? Did he, provide any crosses? Or, you expect him to maybe do a bit more against 10 men. But I thought he did all right. And but I think, when you're looking at someone staking a claim for a first team spot,
no, he had nothing. No,
he didn't do anything.
No shots, no dribbles, no big chances created, no goals, no assists. Yeah, you're right.
So I didn't think anything much of Lucas Moura's cameo yesterday. I thought he obviously worked hard for the team and he helped see out the win. But when against 10 men, you expected to go for the jugular a bit, and he didn't really stake a claim to be in the first 11.
No, yesterday. I agree with that.
Like Lamela did. Like Lamela really did that extra bit.
Mm-hmm. Which moves us on to Dele, who came on for the last 20 minutes from Tanguy Ndombele. We gave him a 7. Again, I thought Dele came on and it was a nice cameo, but a few tricks. He looked on it. He's playing with a smile on his face again, and he just looked sharp. I really think he looked sharp, and I think Dele Alli, slowly but surely, is going to get back to his best.
Well, look, it was good getting him in the squad again, good getting him involved again. It was good for him to have that smile on his face, as you said. It was good having him back in the squad, going back to previous weekends where he's been left out for people like Jedson and stuff like that. So it's even just having him involved is good. Obviously, it looks like he's going to be staying beyond... it's good to put to bed those rumours, and it looks like he's going to be staying beyond the transfer window deadline. So... I think the great thing about having Dele is he just provides another option there. If we want to mix things up, he provides a different question for people to answer. If the 4-3-3 is not working, we have someone who can play in between the lines.
4-2-3-1.
Yeah, exactly. So
3-5-2. Like, we've got so many different variations.
We can play with pace with Bale and Son on the wings. We've got Berger and got Lucas. If we want to mix things up and put someone between the lines, a bit creative, or even someone who's going to make late runs into the box. We've got Dele Alli who can change things up a bit. So we've got so many options in attack. How many different ways we can hurt the opposition. I think it's a tactical dream for Mourinho, and it's just a matter of Dele Alli getting back to his best and in training, really trying to say to Mourinho, look, I'm here to fight for my place. I'm here to get back into this team, because obviously Dele Alli at his best is one of the most exciting players in England. But obviously we haven't seen that Dele for a while. But now he's going to be forced into it, because obviously we know the past couple of years, even though he hasn't been at his best, we've kind of had to play him. But now we don't. Now we've got abundance of options. So if he's going to get back in this team, he's going to have to earn it.
Yeah. I got a feeling that Dele is going to be used more in this kind of role throughout the season, like a cameo off the bench, if we need a goal. But look, let's move on to Ben Davies, the last one of the players. We gave him a 7. He played 15 minutes coming on for Heung-min Son, giving him a bit of a rest. And I thought it was a great cameo, to be honest. Darting down that left-hand side, doing Wan-Bissaka, then doing Pogba, winning a penalty.
Fantastic.
I thought that was Regulon when I first saw it. And then I thought it was Davies. I was like, whoa, where did you get that from? The guy
pace as well.
I know, the guy has really upped his game since Regulon has come. And now we have got 2 brilliant left-backs, 2 brilliant right-backs, and the options are absolutely endless for Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, I think a really good cameo, again showing the competition from places is upping everyone's performances. And yeah, I thought another good cameo from Ben Davies, winning the penalty really well. And as you say, he came in against Haifa, got an early assist early doors. He's really showing that he wants to be part of it as well.
After no assist in like 2 years and something as well.
Yeah, exactly. So fantastic stuff from Ben Davies, and he's going to have to step up his performances.
Yeah. Let's move on to Jose Mourinho. How did you feel? Obviously, it was brilliant. The way he set up the game, his game plan, how it was all implemented.
Yeah, played his absolute perfection. The way that he got Aurier free down the right every single time. The way he dropped Højbjerg deeper and allowed Ndombele and Sissoko to get forward so much and to cause havoc. The way he got Son and Kane linking up in between the lines.
Not even the way they link up. It's the way that Kane drags away defenders from Heung-min Son as well. It's just genius.
Absolute genius. The way he's using Kane's vision and passing ability to get Son in behind, absolutely phenomenal. Mourinho's really coming into his own at the moment. He really is showing what this team's all about and his vision for the team, and it's really paying dividends. And this squad now, you got to say, is up there with the best squads in the league at the moment. You got to say we've got options in every single position. Obviously, centre back doesn't look like we're going to get anyone through before the deadline. Centre back's a big question, but every single even in centre back, we still have competition for places. We still have depth in the squad, so it's absolutely fantastic position to be in. And I think at the moment it's a really exciting time to think there's no Bale, no Bergwijn, no Vinicius, no Lo Celso, all players who you would think would make the squad. It's absolutely fantastic that we're in this position at the moment. You've got to thank Levin, you've got to thank Jose for
Don't
at the
forget
moment.
Steve Hitchen, he's on holiday in January this year.
But Jose has really seen what the squad needs, and he's told Levy, look, this is what we need, and if you want us to improve, this is what you need to get. And clearly this is what's been done.
Tactical precision with the transfers, you know what I mean? It's just been insane. But look, yeah, that's our player ratings today. Absolutely spot on from everyone. Jose Mourinho really coming to his own and really showing us what Spurs can really be about this season. If these kind of performance can carry on consistently, then we can really be in for something exciting this year. And I genuinely believe that, especially with Liverpool losing 7-2 last night as well. Who knows what can happen this year? Once a rut sets in, it's hard to get it away. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So look, let's see what happens. Let's not get too carried away. Let's take it step by step and game by game. But look, I for one, I'm getting very, very excited about the Tottenham Hotspur team, and I bet all of you out there are as well. But that's our player ratings. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of our ratings, what you think your ratings are. Let me know in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always,
come on you Spurs.